Hi, Heidi ho, Heidi ho. So, watching Kim Iverson this morning. Well, she's a beautiful woman. Anyway, watching her and what she's talking about, and um, hmm, what I've been talking about Sabbatean Frankist ideology, the Epstein class. So, I did something kind of humorous. I can't stand TikTok. So, TikTok was taken over, and it was going downhill before it was taken over by the Zionists, the Epstein class, the ones who want to. They're the Giborim in Zohar, making a name for themselves. Anyway, when you understand, and it's kind of hard to fully wrap your mind around the Frankist ideology. So they believe in doing all the sinful things that you're told not to do in Torah and Tanakh and Zohar because they believe it's going to bring about HaMashiach. So bombing schools and hospitals and innocents, trying to destroy innocents, basically. The Epstein class. Those are the Zionists, the ones that call themselves Zionists. They're not Jews. They're not Yehuda. They're not Ha'am Yisrael. They're not the children of Yisrael. They're the Erev Rav, the mixed multitude that came along with Israel, who tried to get Israel to sin with the golden calf. Anyway, they like to bomb these schools and things and then use the excuse they had tunnels underneath those schools and stuff, so, murdering children, murder. So that's one of the 10 utterances, thou shalt not. It doesn't say you shalt not kill, so there's a misconception with that saying. Because we kill things, even we kill grass when we walk on it. It says thou shalt not murder. There's a difference. And what they are doing is out and out, straight up murder. So, bombing schools and then saying, well, it's Iran. No, it's Israel. But it's not all Jews, so we can't point our finger and say it's Jews, or it's Christians, or it's Muslims, or it's Hinduism that's bad. Yisrael is mixed among all the nations, just like the mixed multitude is mixed in with Israel. So anyway, they want to use the excuse. So that's their new excuse they're going to start using. So they've bombed and created to where it's raining down oil now because they're bombing refineries and they're bombing their infrastructure, like their water facilities that they use for purifying the water and giving the communities clean water. Those are all war crimes, but that's wicked. That's wicked. So, it's kind of like bombing people in boats and out in the water, and, they want to destroy everything so there's no witnesses. But here's the thing that you really need to wrap your mind around. It's the same class of men who believe they can tell you to wear a mask, same class of men that believe they can put chemicals into your body, and you just have to listen. So they're psychopaths and sociopaths. And people suffering from situational narcissism who believe they have authority over you because somebody else gave them authority. So, the men with the nom de guerre on their chest. And yes, there are decent men in there who don't understand how indoctrinated and how they've been coerced. But, when you go back and look at the Nuremberg trials, I was only following orders doesn't give you any kind of leadway. So, I was only following orders, so I committed all these crimes against little girls and little boys and men and women and, all these atrocities against life itself. You don't get to use that for an excuse. So, Donald Trump, he's not the only one, so you're a fool if you vote at all. You're not supposed to vote. This will be the nature of your king. They're not denying you, Samuel, they're denying me, and this will be the nature of their king. Everybody keeps looking for King Mashiach. And unfortunately, you're missing the big picture. You're not supposed to vote for any man. You're not supposed to place your faith in any man. And the reason why is because then you end up with Sabbatean Frankist ideology. men who believe that they can do all kinds of perverse things because they want to bring about HaMashiach. It's sick. So, yeah, the things they're doing in Iran, they're war crimes. But they told you up front, they think the world is overpopulated. Think about it. They think the world is overpopulated, so Gates admitted, oh, well, we should be able to bring the population down to a certain percentage with the jab. Go look it up. He said it straight out. They have said that they think the world is overpopulated. So what's the best way to depopulate the world? Have wars. World War III. So, here on this portion of land, which I recognize as Turtle Island, for any of you punk-ass Zionists who like to push your Zionism, your satanic synagogue of Satan. But then again, there's a synagogue of every cathedral, every church, every mosque. Hasatan controls a lot of men and their minds and their sickness. Anything that we do that is a trespass against another man is a violation of the law. So that's a message for today. Look for false flags to be here on Turtle Island, what some of you call America. Because that's the colonizers and the colonialism that taught you that it's okay to go and take land. But Kili Koha'adas, all the earth is mine, is what our Imam says, both mother and father. You see a father, then you're blind. God bless. Much love.